Welcome to another video. So you can see on my last upload in the top right here, you can see I called out RMSG at $1.83, okay, because it was actually down a little bit in pre-market. And if we actually go in the chart right here and we mark out 183 when I called it out, which was just, let me actually clear this out because there's too much stuff right here. But, I called it out at 183 and you can see that this one ran all the way to highs of $3.40 for just around, almost a 90% gainer from that alert. So drop a quick like for me on this video if you are enjoying this content. Remember, I have nothing at all to sell you, and these alerts are 100% free. And make sure you have that notification bell turned on. But I do have a brand new play that I think has a ton of potential, and it is completely bottomed out because a $2 penny stock with no dilution at all, more cash than their entire market cap, their entire valuation. They have a $5 million market cap with $5.6 million cash in the bank, plus another $11 million or more in property and plant equipment, plus other assets included. So just based off their balance sheet alone, they are severely undervalued, guys. And their home base of operations is a 7.5 acre facility, which is absolutely insane. And this is, they're based in Florida, where they manufacture, distribute, and market, sports boats. And obviously right now, this sector is absolutely booming. The entire boat sector is heating up with, the peak of summer upon us. And this is a stock that was actually trading over $9 just, not even 2 months ago, or just around 2 months ago. And historically always has a major run from this current support level and demand zone. So a bottomed out opportunity that I think has a ton of potential. This company is called Twin V Powercast, which is a boating company, like I already stated, currently trading at $2.16. And we do have a really tiny 2 million share float. The float is sitting just under 2 million shares. Market cap, $4.8 million. A tiny valuation considering they have $5.6 million cash on hand with a ton of other assets. And you can see there's been a ton of accumulation happening at this bottomed out area. 50-day moving average as resistance at 230, then some resistance at 243, 245, and just around 260. The next key levels to break, just at first glance, 275 is another big area. But you can see this stock basically, last time it hit this level not too long ago, when it's trading around $2, it basically ran all the way from $2 per share, $2.50, all the way to $9.30 in just one day alone. And the company has been busting out a ton of press releases back to back. So something is really brewing here, and it just looks like this one is absolutely primed for a breakout. I am in this one pretty heavy myself. Looking at dilution for Twin V Powercast, you can see that there are absolutely zero dilution filings. The company has 9.5 months of cash left, estimated current cash of $5.5 million. 2022 shelf offering has a current raisable amount of $0. So one of the cleanest sub 2 million share float companies or penny stocks you will find in the entire market, especially one that has a great bottomed out chart with a range to $9 plus. So Twin V is a designer, manufacturer, distributor, and marketer of recreational and commercial power catamaran boats. Now this is pretty big because catamaran boats are just more fuel efficient. They're designed better and more stable and just look better than the average boat. So they have a very massive lineup of these where, like I said, this company has been extremely active, putting out news pretty much every single week for the last few months. And they just recently started using and implementing artificial intelligence to help further market their boats. And they do have a pretty big catalyst coming out, I believe, on Thursday of this week. So Twin V Powercats is expected to host Q2 financial results on August 7th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Now, if we actually look on their website on their presentation, it says that they are currently building 5 to 6 boats a month, and Twin V expects to experience substantial growth in the second half of 2025. So just based on this statement from the company, the next few quarters should potentially be record-breaking quarters. and they just started implementing, the CNC machine, this 5-axis CNC machine, which is expected to help margins out. They say this will help their cost improvement by 33% and speed up their product development by 40%. So keep in mind, guys, this company has a 7.5 massive home base of operations in Florida, and they just expanded their main production facility to over 100,000 square feet. This is basically going to help them have a massive boost to their boat production capabilities. And they are, like I said, implementing a ton of cost reduction methods that will also speed up their production process. They are continuously innovating and designing new models. So they have 14 newly designed models, over 90 years of boat building DNA. They have over 8,000 Twin V boats built, and over 30,000 aqua sports boats have been developed. On June 25th, just a few weeks ago, Twin V Power Cats announces their new Bahama Boat Works model lineup, expanding the brand's legacy of excellence. And this was shortly after their recent acquisition of Bahama Boat Works. So they are really trying to take over the entire boating industry and are continuing to release new models. This is always good to see, and I am expecting more updates in the coming weeks or just very soon with this new lineup. It looks like these new Bahama models are smaller versions of their existing lineup that they have following that acquisition. Their flagship product and their main boat design and model is the Catamaran boat. Now, there are a ton of advantages to these models. So as a Twin V boat moves throughout the water, the boat hull has these lifting strakes on each hull side. Lifting strakes produce lift at the bow of the boat, displacing water, allowing the boat to, in essence, glide above the water rather than lumber through it. So there's a ton of science behind all of this, but obviously these Catamaran boats are the best choice for the smoothest and most fuel efficient ride. They do have a wider footprint. This stability makes Twin V boats perfect for activities like fishing, diving, and entertaining, where a steady platform is essential. And they do have a shallow draft for exploring remote waters. So Twin V boats are designed with a shallow draft that allows you to access areas that are off limits to deeper draft monohulls. So another competitive advantage to some of these other models, with a draft as shallow as 14 inches on some models, Twin V catamarans are ideal for coastal and inshore cruising. And they do have advanced construction and materials. So these catamarans are built using closed molded vacuum infusion technology, ensuring consistent quality and strength. Talked about how these designs save you a ton of money every single boating trip with their fuel efficiency and hydrodynamics. And these boats are powered by twin engines, but their advanced design allows them to perform effectively even on a single engine. So this means if one of these engines has an issue or just goes out, you can still steadily and efficiently get around with just one engine. Now the speed would be much lower, or just you would have a reduction in your top speed, but you can still smoothly get around with just one engine. So that's another major competitive advantage to these other boat companies that only have one engine. There is maximized deck space for utility and comfort. Fuel efficiency, we've already talked about that. They are designed for maximum enhanced visibility. They are designed for superior load-bearing capabilities. Whether you're carrying heavy equipment, a full fishing crew, or recreational gear, Twin V catamarans excel under heavy loads. So the twin hull structure distributes weight evenly across a larger surface area, minimizing the impact on performance. And they do have precise maneuverability for docking and tight spaces. I don't want this video to get too long, but if you just look at their news and their press releases, I've already said this, but it's just usually when you have this much news coming out back to back, something is brewing behind the scenes. Something's going on, and just considering that this one is trading at the all-time low, completely bottomed out. Just looks like a really good risk to reward right here. And it looks like, just considering that there's no dilution as well, makes this one even better. And historically, guys, August is pretty slow for small caps. And, the market kind of slows down in this area. There's a lot of people, a lot of these, market makers and hedge funds are going on vacation. They're just not trading as much. Whenever you go into August and specifically September with the large cap names, okay? So just be careful out there, but also be looking out for some really good buying opportunities for some small cap setups you like, because a lot of these are starting to develop. Either way, let me know in the comments what other plays you're watching, what you think of this play, and I will see you on the next video.